This is segment 4 of my Deathless Dark Souls run. So in this segment, excuse me, in this segment, basically have 3 objectives. We have 2 Lord Souls left, and then we also have, of course, Gwyn in Kiln of the First Flame. So we're going to start off by going to Bed of Chaos. We want to grab Sunlight, Maggot. We're going to Tomb of the Giants, but I don't want to die in Tomb of the Giants because I can't see. And at the end of the previous segment, so this was a little disjoint, at the end of the previous segment, donated 30 humanity, Servants of Chaos, in order to open the shortcut here. So the shortcut's already open. We just run down to it and then do Bed of Chaos. I guess one other thing I should mention. I'd previously done Ceaseless after quite log, which I guess is a bit of an unusual sequencer route. A lot of runs, of course, there's a Ceaseless skip or something like that. Here we are. Pretty much nothing in this section can kill you. Stuff can hit you, but here you see this is not too bad. You just made out the attack, and then you have Albert. Very high damage to demons. I think that one shots with 27 strength. I have 22 strength in this build, so in a no-hit build where you have more points in strength, I think that kills. We'll find out. Up here I had to make a sequencing decision, so I think you don't rest here to restore the fall damage health, because then you actually have to fight that like chompy demon, which can potentially hit you, so I think you just run around. Not like you don't have enough Estus charges. Sure, coming all the way from Firelink here. Literally just have to sprint through this section and then try and restore your stamina so you have enough to run. Sort of a bit of two minds about this shortcut. I appreciate it because I feel like it skips an unfinished portion of the game. It's kind of unappealing. I also think like the orange charred ring drops from set of like really interesting. I don't know. I think skipping it makes for like a crisper game, like a game with less depth. Balance that. I also personally think the Centipede Demon fight is very cool. It probably is an easy place to die or take damage. I think it's much easier to get hit than. So here's the reason that we do this before Nito. Sunlight Maggot. I should note, and I think it's obvious there. So sort of the first segment I practiced a bunch, and this segment I practiced a bunch. And the reason for that is that I died a lot on the first segment. I died a lot on this segment. Never died in the middle segments, so I didn't practice them, so there's no sort of routing or optimization there. I think this is about a 30-minute segment. Initially, all of the segments were 45 minutes, right? I just put in lots of time save from my initial attempt through here. I'll sort of talk about it. So it's easy to get hit there by the Titanite Demon. It seems like the trick is you like hit its tail, then run around to the other side, and it seems like you never get hit if you do that correctly, a light roll, kind of fast enough to get around. This strategy seems consistent. I believe on this run, actually, I do no-hit the entire Bed of Chaos section. Come up here. One time I died. It's NPC. It's one of the Witch of Izalith's daughters. You just have to do a running attack, and it staggers before the spell goes off. Any of those spells that hit you do plenty of damage. I'm equipping Bow here to help aim. And then one piece of tech that I added, sort of all of my practice rounds, is currently, this is the section in this run where I use the mouse. In my hitless run, I'm using it in a few other places, but I switched to mouse and keyboard just to throw the bombs. I'm going to run all the way up here with controller. I'll switch to mouse and keyboard once I'm in a safe spot. Then I switch back to controller during the cutscene. So, very safe to switch back and forth, didn't have to alter my setup too much. There's plenty of guides for this, but basically you run up there, you jump back twice. You can verify that you should be one line behind where that root comes in. You should be exactly in the center. The way I remember this is there's 2 arced branches, you aim for sort of the curve on the higher one. You do that on both sides. I line this up, I throw, cutscene. I am not yet fast enough to get both cutscenes at the same time. Don't think it matters. You do have to start running immediately. It seems like I did manage to die there once, somehow. Roll through here, and you'll see I unequipped the bow so that I can just do a bare hand attack onto the gas bug. Things that can kill you on this section, script the bombs, you definitely die. Because you're just unlikely to recover, right? Like throwing the bombs is easier than recovering from it. You get hit by Titanite Demon. You can get hit by the Pyromancy NPC. I think that's it. I guess you can get... you can potentially get hit by the, like, Forest Demon Gauntlet section. It's potentially dangerous as well. Contrast that with Nito. I think I'm going to grab the last Estus Flask charge here. The entire Tomb of Giants sequence, and actually more properly the Catacomb sequence, is full of danger. This bonfire is much nicer than the Honor Londo bonfire, because there's a very nearby bonfire you can grab. Firekeeper's Hole. I really appreciate that. So this is super optimized. I think I practiced this probably 10 times or something. I like died once to fire bombs, like never doing that. Just ran this section over and over. No mistakes. You know, 7 out of 10 times hitless. Probably if I did it 10 times in a row right now, I wouldn't get hit. Upgrade our Estus Flask. That's just for safety. I now have enough endurance that I can wear Sunlight Maggot, Grasscrest Shield, and Black Knight Halberd, and still fast roll. That's really nice. So a section I have a lot of anxiety about on No is sort of the start of Catacombs. Of course, I'm going to do a fall strat. So I'm going to run past as few skeletons as possible, run past or kill. Then I'm going to fall. But what you'll see I'm doing here is I'm equipping armor to have poise. That's because a lot of times I got stun-locked by skeletons and screwed up my fall. That. I'm running Slumbering Dragon Crest Ring here, which I read on a wiki, and it seems like this is true from my experience, but I don't know how exactly to be certain of it. That the sort of red skulls don't pop when you have Slumbering Dragon Crest on, which is one of the things that has a chance to knock you off the ledges. Or, I mean, it just registers as a hit. It's not good for a hitless run. Okay, this enemy is easy enough to avoid. Just this is all still pretty easy to do hitless through here. None of these skeletons are awake yet. And then about half of my runs I managed to no hits here. I fail the lock on. Don't stun the Necromancer in time. Get hit. That's bad. I've gotten in the habit of resting at this bonfire just to reset enemies. I have the Lord Vessel now, so it doesn't matter that I'm bonfire set back to Firelink. I've seen a variety of strategies for this next section on no hit, on no death, it's pretty, but on poise. Exactly what I do here. Just get hit and don't worry about it. There's basically 4 enemies I'm worried about here. There's the fireball that came over from the next side. There's these 3 skeletons. All of those things can hit you. On no hit it doesn't matter, but you do have to be full health. Well, not quite full health for this fall. Do a dodge here, hit the edge of that. This probably merits more practice. Heal back up. Next section's easy. There's an item down there, so you can scout it. Fall down. And now I'm starting to think about, like, there's all these skeletons. That's a hit, right? So I need to come up with a solution for that. I don't know if it's go fast, if it's damage these once, I do double plunges onto the bone wheel. I don't like dealing with them, so first plunge. I think I missed the second plunge on my live run. Yeah, I get knocked down. But I'm behind it, and I have Slumbering Dragon Crest, so it's not alerted presence. I'm going to clear these out. Somehow those all have to be gone already on him. It's either I have to be ahead of them temporally, or I have to have killed them or something, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure how to do Red Tearstone here. I'm guessing if you do both drops of the light, that puts you about in Tearstone range. Experiment with that. Okay, I screwed this fight up. This should be a no-hit, but for some reason, I do that jump attack there. I actually just changed my keybinds. Try and have less overlap, so that should be better, but Pinwheel should die almost instantly. Obviously, I'm going to go in with Red Tombstone on hitless, and should be 2 hits, running attack into probably a light attack. It should mean it's impossible for me to get hit, because it comes out so quick. Okay, you can do this entire sequence without Sunlight Maggot. I like Sunlight. Safety. Probably don't use Sunlight Maggot and no hit. Maybe I do. I don't know. Doesn't matter. See, that's only a one-shot if you get the counterattack bonus. So you do have to wait for that enemy to start attacking. Plunges are still a one-shot. I screw up the pathing a little bit here because I see the eyes over there. It's oriented. But I am, in fact, supposed to do plunge attack onto this enemy here. I missed the plunge and therefore take a hit. That shouldn't be a hit. Fall down here. Get hit again. I missed the plunge. Get hit again. Because I mispositioned my camera. All of these are preventable with one plunge attack. I got disoriented, which is one of the reasons it takes Sunlight Maggot. You can either take the ladder or jump down here, but you have to turn on this fire. Because we need to start doing some like homeward bound sequencing here. Goal now is we have Slumbering Dragon Crest Ring. We also want to get Ring of Fog. These 2 items combined limit the adds portion of the Nito encounter, which trivializes the encounter and makes no hit viable. There are some other no hit strats, but not for me. So I'm going to grab Skull Lantern, and Homeward Bone back to Tomb of the Giants. From Tomb of the Giants, I'm going to Lord Vessel to Firelink. From Firelink, I'm going to run to Undead Asylum, convert the Skull Lantern to a Ring of Fog, then I'm Ring of Fog, Slumbering Dragon Crest Ring, run to Nito. That's just a good way to do this encounter. I've tried this Ring of Fog, Slumbering Dragon Crest combination elsewhere. It doesn't feel like it does a lot anywhere else. I don't know why, but it works really well in Nito. It'd be nice to use this on our London balcony, for example. It's very difficult to have Ring of Fog by then. I lost exactly 1 run here to dodging off this balcony after doing the trade, because I hit B twice to close the menu instead of once, and backstepped right off the edge. So my menuing is very slow and methodical here, because I'm thinking about that death. To the credit of Slumbering Dragon Crest, none of the Torch Hollows were aggro because of Slumbering Dragon Crest. Fog, and do I move? If I do not, I put on this ring, because I lost 1 round not putting on this ring. Bone back to... Oh, bone all the way back. I didn't rest a Firelink, I forgot. Right, initially I was routing this, where I wanted the 10S discharges from Firelink, and really discovered I didn't need that. I almost lose the run up here. I get hit by one of these enemies. and I don't remember ever getting hit by this enemy in any other run other than this one. So I do something that I don't usually do here. Oh, I guess I missed the attack. Or like, look how bad this is. I'm in one-shot range. Literally perfectly iframed out of that, or I was dead. That was kind of a extremely poor quality gameplay. And I just run through here. I think there's like a much better route through this. This is the route I learned casually at SL1. So much easier with Sunlight Maggot because you can actually see where you're going. I think you can just jump off there, for example. It's safe. Have to. I always cling to right side here, go right around enemies, and then from here you can jump down again, go through this hole, and then you don't need Sunlight Maggot anymore. It's well lit. On previous runs, I mentioned I used to use a lot of Estus charges for Nito safety, and also heavy armor. Historically, I kindled the second bonfire that I just skipped there, and went into Nito with 20 Estus charges, but Paladin Leroy was there. I usually just ran past Paladin Leroy, but you know, there's reasons to fight Leroy, the Sanctus Shield, to do hyper mode and like that. Here I'm trying to figure out if I can have Grass Crest on with both rings, and I cannot. So, been real. You can fight these or run around them, as far as I can tell. Very low anxiety about that section and no hit. Very high anxiety about that section and no hit. There's two things I worry about a lot. I worry about getting hit by that fireball, so I dodge through it. And then I worry about getting hit by this fireball, which I do not dodge through. I didn't learn the timing on that one yet. Use Humanities here to heal. Make sure I have Estus charges if I need them. I made a mistake there. I should have checked my rings. Checked my rings previously. I should check them again. Feel pretty good about all aspects of this fight, except Nito has a channel point blank AoE explosion that I thought you had to outrange, but I failed to outrange. It is generally my preference to dodge that attack rather than use the weapon block strat. I distinctly remember getting hit once with a weapon block strat, which presumably means I did something wrong. Nevertheless, I'm usually able to dodge it. Okay, start fighting Nito because I think I'm far enough away from the ends. So I'm able to get pretty far in this encounter. No, I'm already thinking about no hit here, right? That's why I'm not using heavy armor anymore. You can tell this is a more practice section. Miss an attack there. That's inexcusable. Okay, I have to outrange this, and I thought this was far enough, but it's not. So I learned the wrong measurements. So I get hit by this because I missed the timing. But again, I've since changed my keybind, so I won't accidentally jump there instead of dodge. This damage is I think like basically the fight where I have an accurate amount of damage. Learned something here, which is that I'm on the wrong side of Nito. Can't run far enough away. That's right. Here's another explosion, and I also thought I outranged this one. So yeah, I'll need to practice this a little bit. Well, not too much. There's only the one attack, and I only have to learn how far you run away, or to position Nito, and it should be fine. Okay, now we only have Gwyn, but we're actually going to do a slight detour. The reason we have a slight detour, as I mentioned, I ran a lot of reps of the different bosses and elements of this segment. That's why Nito is now being done with no armor on instead of heavy armor. All the safety strats are gone. I still have safety strats on Gwyn, and the reason I have safety strats on Gwyn is because in this run, I didn't have the statistical allocation to do parry on Gwyn. So instead of doing parry, what I'm going to go do now, get Havel's Ring. I need Havel's Ring to put on any appreciable quality of armor. I destroyed the Ring of Favor and Protection, so I can't use that to increase my equip load. I'm going to put on Havel's Ring and get high enough equip Elite Knight Armor, and what this is going to allow me to do is medium roll and not get 2-shot. And with the combination of medium roll and not get 2-shot, I never died to Gwyn with this method without parrying. I wanted to know. I'm still pretty bad at Gwyn parries. I can parry about 40% of the time, which is like not nearly enough for a no death. So I need to practice that. But in the meantime, I can just put on Elite Knight Armor. I'm tanky enough and nimble to get through the encounter. I was vaguely thinking about no-hit in this section, but I'm 99% sure I'm never coming through here on no-hit, so I don't think it matters at all. I grab some lightning pop just for old times. Attempt to do this jump, fail it. I think I attempt to jump over this barrel, which I do. No, I don't. I still get hit by something. This is already open from when we went through to get the Twinkling Titanite earlier for the lizard outside Taurus Demon. We run down here, and Havel is really not scary with the level of damage I have now. I think I can even survive a hit just with pure vitality. I can also walk right up to Havel, because a lot of sneaky stuff on. But as ever, I have no idea how you actually backstab in this game. I was pretty sure that'd be a backstab, that I got hit. This is not an optimal setup. You know, Ring of Steel Protection is very low value item. So just kind of goofy combinations of things. Oh yeah, I forgot on this run I asked the father, so I actually used it. That means I can put on Havel's legs. I don't know. This is a bit of a silly setup, right? Just putting on as much defense and poise as we can. By Gwyn. Look how ridiculous I look. But anyways, for no death, my experience is medium roll with Elite Knight or better armor. You can't die. You just do best effort dodging. Back when you have full health, you can even trade. Super high reliability strat for at the end of this run. Just wanted to get the run at this point. So that's why I'm wearing armor instead of pretending I can carry, which I can. Making sure I have 20 Estus charges there, because yeah, I don't want to lose at this point. I believe I even clear the Black Knights because I don't want them sneaking up. You can, of course, leave on Ring of Fog and Slumbering Dragon Crest, and I think some of these knights don't see you, but most of them still do, so it doesn't really help. On no hit, I'm definitely running through here, light equip load, and then if I'm doing any gear changes, I'll do them at the fog door. There's a possibility on soul level. I cleared all of the knights so I could drop my HP to actually Frontier Stone Ring also have power within active third Gwyn's Arena to have to do fewer parries. I just had to do a single parry and a heavy. I might do that on no hit as well, but Setting up your health is such a hassle. That hit there. I'm running slowly because I have heavy. It doesn't matter at all. The other ring I would use in this setup, and sometimes I ran to grab it, was Chloranthy ring. It's just not worth going out of the way. Especially since on this run I just randomly grabbed steel protection. I have steel protection. Pop 1 humanity while Gwyn's getting ready. Dodge this, and I can start attacking back. Have to dodge that. Does a lot of damage, it won't kill me. There's the first stagger. I can tank those, but I don't want to. Gwyn always punishes heals. Wait for Gwyn to start an animation, I heal. I take 1 stab, straight back. Somehow I miss an attack. Pull here, heal, get the heal read, slow damage. Trying to decide on no hit if I want to come in here Darkwood Grain and actually do a no parry, just don't get hit strat, which I think would be extremely fun. There you have it, Dark Souls Deathless. Wearing that heavy armor feels awful, so I take it off before I do anything else. And that's that. Dark Souls.